Wait, we could be seeing something actually. Might not be a potential sign out yet. It does look like we're seeing that No Name Boy and Lodex playing off in what seems to be a show match, actually. So, well, I guess you can have this for a bit. I guess you can have this for a bit of reconciliation. So, yeah, instead of just having that match that was supposed to be forfeited, we are going to be seeing something else, really. So this is going to be Lodex versus that No Name Boy. I'm pretty sure Lodex is also playing in this tournament as well. Actually, is Lodex playing this tournament? Yeah, Lodex is playing this tournament, seeded second place as well. So, I guess now we can have a bit to talk about when it comes to Lodex. So, Lodex as a player as well is still a very solid player. I would say, just judging off by this, seems like he's very well rendered. Like, I do think, like, especially in the SV as well, and just overall everything, coming high, very high seedings in some of the rise picks, and when it comes to hybrid as well, it seems that it seems like they do have an advantage up against that No Name Boy. So again, I still would not be surprised if this does turn into a Rise versus Hybrid / LN matchup again, as I do think Lodex could definitely capitalize off their strengths against that No Name Boy's. I wouldn't say weakness. I would just say Lodex's strengths, more like. As you know, I still think anything can happen. We're still kind of in the early game territory, so it's still just going to be a battle of consistency, really. So stuff like nerves, couple of combo breaks as well, couple of early rushes, late rushes, you know, typical any misjudgment rushes could definitely throw off a couple of the players. Actually, now as we're seeing it, the scores are wrong. Well, not the scores are wrong, the screens are wrong. Alright, and just that out the way now to warm ups, we can get into the roles where we will be seeing protect and bans, I'm pretty sure. So there isn't much on the table since it is only round of 32. Again, it is going to be that best of 4 setting. I mean, no, best of 7 setting, I meant. No, best out of 7, I meant, sorry. So you're really just going to have to pick wisely for some of these picks. Especially that there's just not much on the table. Doesn't really leave as much variety compared to some of the later rounds. So I do think the wrong chat client, the wrong lobby is on the chat themes as well. We're not seeing anything yet. But unfortunately, now that we don't see the protection bands right now, unless I do see it in chat. So we didn't see anything yet. So it does look like they're going to be going into the last speech, which let me just quickly bring it up. This is going to be Hybrid 2. So if I would probably have to guess who picked this, I would assume it was Lodex's pick. Nothing really too notably from the intro. Again, it's still fairly light from the start, man. Being 3.6 stars, it's more kind of the release side that you have to rely on your opponent getting caught out for a bit on some of these releases. So with just a score still tickering around, both are still fairly comfortable with this intro. I would say it's just going to have to come down to that PA at the end of the day. Even MA. So nothing really too special. Both players still managing to be very comfortable on some of the releases. Accuracy advantage does go to Lodex as datnonameboi finds a couple of 300s from kind of releasing a bit too early, but still very close overall. Not even 1,000 points score difference. But we still have half the map left. Anything can really happen now. Nerves sort of piling in really at this point. Still though, I gotta admire both players for being that consistent. Actually, Lorex kind of finding a couple of 300s, getting a very small score difference overall. Only 0.2 of a lead, and it just kind of goes back a bit. Now they're both on the same. They're both near the same. It's got to come down to ratio. It has to come down to ratio. As we just approach the outside of the map, still all players are extremely comfortable with just these kind of rise patterns. And I would say if there's no substantial accuracy change, with just that very close score, 1,100 points, with 990 and 989, is going to be going to Lodex for the first point. Very solid scores from both players. datnonameboi managing to snag that V1 double S as well. It's just Lodex with just a greater ratio at the end of the day. So, very good pick from Lodex, I'd have to say. But just seeing what datnonameboi is capable of as well, Lodex might have to watch out in some of those hybrid LN picks as well. So, I assume now this is going to be datnonameboi's pick, where he is going to be picking Rice 2. Say it right. See, I definitely think this was a wise pick from datnonameboi. Especially as they're fairly stronger in some of the Rice capabilities. But we have seen Lodex as well, and especially that both players are fairly comfortable with some of the early game stuff. And so we're just gonna have to see how this goes, really. I do think it's gonna come down to ratio and PA as well. Again, picking up in the intro of the map actually slightly goes to that no-name-boi, as you know, you can kind of more comfortably act the roles than somebody trills at the start. Nothing too substantial yet, as it's only the intro, so anything can really happen. This is a fairly tough accuracy map as well. Even some of those rolls can catch you out of maybe a couple of 300s, even a 200 at sometimes. Just always gotta be on your A game for this type of map. Kind of a bursty rice pick. Yeah, definitely a fairly tough mixed rice pick from both sides. Lotex sort of catching back up there, actually, kind of coming back up to that no-name-boi, where they're actually still very similar. That double 99.8, but it's just that no-name-boi who was more of a consistent for kind of near the start as well. But they're actually slightly flickering down. It's just very close right now. Flickering kind of back to Lotex as well, where, you know, as we are getting kind of more to the back half of the map, the final quarter, as we are getting into the final bit where it's going to be more continuous bursts as well. Coming a lot of those rolls and some of those flamps as well, not really that easy to keep your MA on. As we did see from Lotex as well, kind of dropping a bit more, a few 300 for their lightning, kind of bring themselves back down to 99.81. Nothing too substantial, but as the map does close out, and it seems like no one's really getting caught out here. Even a single 200 could just change the outcome, but it doesn't look like the case, as that no-name-boi is going to be snagging their first point as well, equalizing out 2v1 double S as well, but it's just going to be that no-name-boi with the better ratio at the end of the day. Very smart pick. Well done. So I've now just got an update for the protects and bans. It does look like Rice 1 and Ellen 1 were banned respectively. I'd probably have to assume that that no-name-boi did manage to ban the Ellen pick, while Lotex did manage to ban the Rice pick. So now is the time we're all waiting for. Coming in to the SV pick. It's gonna be Flicker by Hydra. We still don't know the pick yet, as well. Here's what I'm kind of thinking. So it seems like Rice 1 was banned first, if it has been said that Rice 1 was banned. So I'd probably have to assume that Lotex managed to win the role, especially as the first pick was more the hybrid oriented pick. So I assume this is going to be Lotex's pick anyways. Which kind of does make sense in a way, especially as we have seen from the qualifier stats, as they're only one seed apart from each other. Oh, but that drop from Lotex at the start isn't really going to help him. So even then, just look at that no-name-boi's accuracy throughout, with that 99.8, still probably holding on to that V1 double S as well. Meanwhile for Lotex, kind of climbing their way back up the accuracy. Again, it was a very early break, so there is still room to catch up. It's more of, I would say it's kind of more reading bias, I would say. But again, the memory part as well. just kind of need to know where to control your MA and PA. So you have managed to finish off the front hand of the map, and the unfortunate drop from Lotex kind of shifts lead towards that non-board's favor more. Could potentially see a breakpoint if things do not have any can change. Non-boy kind of bit far down comparing to as we've seen for the first half of the first drop at 99.6. Still half a percent higher though. Definitely giving them a bit of an advantage. So it does look like we're jumping back into it. As we kind of get the speedy long dark section now. Still both players very comfortable. Looks kind of finding a couple of 200s on some of the long dark. We need to watch out, especially for some of the timings and the rhythm of this. But yeah, that no-name boy gonna take a slight act drop as well, falling down to 99.4. I just need to say as well, Lotex's accuracy has been very consistent as well. Ever still since that drop, climbing back up to 99.2. I do think Lotex could have potentially snagged the point. I would say will have a better chance snagging the point if they did not miss near the start as well. It was a fairly dirty miss, I will say that. Having a big accuracy tank, but 99.32 catching up, but with just not much map left. I don't think there's going to be enough time, sadly, which will be giving that no-name boy the break point. Overall, still very good scores. Identical ratio as well. But even then, that online boy with the better PA in general, with 2 less 200s and if an 100 instead of a 50, definitely did make the difference when it does come to a score like this. So with that out the way now, Nolan Boy does kind of have that slight advantage, probably with the next pick as well. And actually, no, but maybe. So they're going to be jumping into L2. I just think it's going to be the density, kind of more the density mixed L pick, I would say. I'm still not too familiar with this map pool quite yet. So it's going to kind of be a bit rough for me to make my predictions on something like this. Just judging off. I don't know if this would be the best pick for that Nolan Boy. Especially when you know how capable Lodex is for some of the LNs. It just kind of gives me a small red flag. But I can't really tell yet. So we're just going to have to see how this map goes. Yeah, I definitely feel like just to be a pick that both players would be able to kind of equalize out, honestly. But but I don't know. Actually, Linux kind of finding a couple 200s in some of the sections, as you do have kind of you kind of just have the releases that are kind of catching a couple of players out, especially some of the staggers and some of the holes as well. Still fairly dense at 146 BPM. Not really the slowest thing, but not really the fastest thing either. But still fairly fast for an early game map like this. Even with so keeping keeping combo, you still have to keep an eye on your accuracy as well to make sure you're kind of releasing on time as well, making sure you do have the correct fundamentals, and especially the consistency like this, as map is mostly like this. However, it is very quick, so I would assume this would be a very good pick to kind of fatigue your opponent out later in the tournament, I'd say. And especially to keep on combo as well. Look how close it's getting. And as I say that, Lullix is going to find that drop. And as we just don't have much map left, it's that miss was that miss was grim, but just not enough time to get back up to that max combo count. It does look like that no-name boy is going to be getting that third point, threatening match point against Lodex as well. You see, just have to watch out for a map like this. I see it's kind of a red flag, but just seeing the map more, I think it was a smart pick now from that no-name boy. Kind of just fatiguing Lodex out with some of the earlier picks, and now just kind of now just kind of taking advantage of the fatigueness. Maybe it could be something we could be seeing in the future for some of our other players as well. So I would probably have to assume this was going to be Lodex pick next. Lodex is going to have to pick very wisely for this next pick if they do not want to get out of this match defeated. But to be fair though, I do admire this show match as well. Kind of, getting a bit familiar with the map pool a bit more in more of a competitive standard. But again, when you're just not on the verge, when you're just not on the verge of, losing anything, it's still very nice to have a show match like this, honestly. And I admire both players for taking it off. So we are going to be getting into. Let me just check which this one is. I think this is race 4, no? Sorry, it's been a bit early.
Okay, here we go. So the Lotex did very good visual ratio in this last peak. 993 score is very high. He did a really double ice in this match, and there are only 1 month left. One is the visual peak, and the other one is race 4. Also, the no name boy also did it very well with 99.59, very high accuracy with only 1/200 in this map. But it's still not enough because Lotex have a very high ratios. Anyway, it is the last pick. One is the visual mode. Oh, they are picking the visual mode now. There is a special part and they need to ban a mode for offside from fade in, flashlight, and the head mode. Choose one of the 3. And if Lotex could get a breakpoint in that part, we are going to see the tiebreaker. I'm really happy to see that, actually. And we still don't know who is the first pick, so the picker is assumed. No name boy is the first picker, but the ban person is right. Meaning that the one player bans right one, the hard rock pick, and the other bans the long note one, the release pick. It looks like No Name Boy is also good at the long note in the sorry, I forgot patterns. It should be long note density. Even he missed in the midterm, got 200 because he released some notes too earlier. He still wins the long note 2 maps. So for the tiebreaker, if there are more long note pattern way higher than rest patterns, I guess the No Name Boy still have an advantage. They are going to ban the visual mode. Usually, they are used to play the hidden mode because it not affect players' game part length. That means you will see the notes as same as when you're using the normal modes. Thus, it only affects a little in the accuracy judgment. Usually, your point will only a little lower compared to no mode if you are using hidden. But the flashlight is different. I guess Lotex is using a way higher speed in the flashlight, and will the no name boy also using a very low score speed compared to the other flashlight player. Oh, looks like No Name Boy haven't familiar with the flashlight pick. Is there some possible in their next match, or he just wanted to play the tiebreaker? And anyway, the Lotex handle all things good, even though he also have a huge accuracy losses. He still have a way higher advantage in this map. The part itself isn't hard, not too much locks, and even though some reading patterns in the maps. Oh no, Lotex finally missed a little. Seems like they are both hidden online player. They not familiar with the flashlight, even more or fade in. Personally, I think the fade in pattern is the hardest part here. Actually, because you will see the notes in a not fixed timer. In the early, the notes appears too earlier compared to your familiar app. And in the later part, yeah. Oh, hello. Thank you for saving me.
Yeah, I'll join you with the English commentary.
Yeah. So Then the remains time I will giving to the Maggie. Let him to communicating in the tiebreaker maps.
I think that's a win for Lotex, actually. Very solid performance, like 98% egg. As opposed to Datna, who sadly only had like 89% egg. But I think we have a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker hype. So yeah, this is a song by Camellia. I'm not sure. Have we haven't seen that many tiebreaker matches actually at Tony. So I'm kind of hyped. I'm also very excited to see Lotex as well as Datna perform on both maps. Because I've heard that Datna had a very solid performance on the maps leading up to the tiebreaker. And Lotex, of course, because he's C2. Like, he performed insane on all skill sets. So this could be a very close match, actually. So I mean, I think the map is like, yeah, it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so long map as expected from a tiebreaker. And I'm actually not sure about the diff specs. Like, depending on who would perform better. But yeah, right now we're still at the beginning of the map, so both up still performing very solid with 99.5% egg. And both also are holding the combo. Very good. That now has a slight egg lead, and Lotex actually hit a couple of 200s right there. But it's only a quarter of the map done, so both can still win. Like, this is a very close match. Still. I don't know, it's just holding the egg. Oh, he had a couple of 200s, okay. It's just 1k point difference. Both players are performing really, really solid right now. This might be actually the closest match we've seen in round of 32 so far. I mean, of course, it's like a friendly match, but still. But yeah, as you can see, that now has like very, very slight egg lead, like less than 1k point lead. So this is a very, very close match. I think Datna wasn't seeded as high, so it's insane to see him perform like that. It's like, it's a 100 point difference. So both are playing pretty much in the same way. This is gonna be very, very close. So now we're going into like the next section of the tiebreaker. I think next this spike is coming up. Lotex got the slight lead. But it's only 800 points, so it's definitely still winnable for that now. Dropped a couple of 200s right there. And it's already like 3/4 of the map. But this is actually insanely close. I think both are still up seeing. Oh, that now gets the lead because Lotex hit a couple of 200. Oh, it's switching back and forth. Like, they are performing so good. So now it's back to like a 1k point difference for Lotex, because that now had a couple of 200s as well. And the map's almost over. This is a very, very, very close match. I've said that like 10 times, but as you can see, I think the map's almost over, and Lotex has a 0.07% lead on Egg, and he gets the win by a mere 2,000 points. Holy shit. Very, very solid performance from both sides. Like, GG's. Insane performance. Like, every 200 counts. You hit. Like, as you can see, that now hit like 5 200s more than Lotex did, and he lost the match by a hair right there. But yeah, GG's to both players. Insane performance. And yeah, Lotex wins the match by winning a tiebreaker. Good job. Super close performance. This might be an indicator as to what's maybe to come for the upcoming matches of round of 16. So stay tuned. But yeah, thank you again for like tuning in into the stream. I'm not sure what the upcoming match is. Let me see. Yeah, upcoming match is Takedown versus PKYumi. We'll start in approximately 8 minutes from now. So definitely tune into that. I've also seen that we've reached 52 followers. So yeah, we will have a couple of custom emotes in the future. And yeah, again, very, very solid performance from that now as well as Lotex. Insanely close match. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And yes, we'll see you in the next match, Takedown versus PKYumi.